Hello everyone. Welcome to Info Space Talk Astrolab News. And today I have with me some interesting occurrences happening in the cosmos. We have a cluster of planets really concentrating in just three houses. How cool is that? I don't know whether you have heard of it or have a gist of it, but it's happening on the 23rd of January, and it's exciting. It's should I say liberating, and it's going to be marvelous. It's forming a bow and arrow type of aspect. So I'll just put the chart on the video as we go on, but before then let me read what it's supposed to mean, what we need to look out for as individuals and collective, and the way forward as a whole. So be with me, and I think it's going to be interesting. I can't wait how things are going, and even with the revelations happening around the USA, the upheaval, things that is happening is just so exciting. Well, it's exciting for some others, but if you embrace yourself, I think you will have the very benefits of it. So let me just get into it. All right. So in summary, this aspect is forming, as I said, a pattern of the bow and arrow. I'll show it over there. So this alignment, it marks a very major karmic turning point for both individuals and collective. There are two powerful stelliums, one in Aquarius and the other in Pisces. And this creates a concentration of energy signaling, destiny, reckoning, and irreversible change. So the things that are going to happen during that day and afterwards is quite, should I say, irreversible. The Aquarius stellium is formed, or the cluster that is forming in Aquarius, the cluster of planets that's forming in Aquarius are Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto. And it is shrining Uranus in Taurus. This, let me explain, this represents a revolution of thoughts, values, and power structures. So it exposes corruption. When this aspect form, it tends to, expose this sort of injustice that is happening around the world. The challenges about rigid hierarchies, and demand for radical transparency, innovation, freedom, especially regarding resources, you see, and economics, collective autonomy. So the collective people in, let's say, a country, and this is so evident. You see how the US is moving. I don't know whether you know of these news that's happening around the world, but it's going to be drastic. So one thing is that superficial reform, things that are just superficial, is just on the surface. It will not be sufficient for the collective anymore. Things need to change. There should be a deep transformation that people would want. Their government, as an individual, you look to yourself, you want things to happen. Things that feels like it's just on the surface, it will not be okay again yet. So opposite this, there's a Pisces stellium. We have the Moon, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, and North Node, all in Pisces. And this will bring a global, emotional, and spiritual reckoning. So globally, the things that seem to be like is the belief system that is not pushing the people forward. These things are just not going to be okay for individuals and the collective again. So we should look out for that. And then it will expose collective wounds. illusions, and betrayals, forcing accountability for spiritual, moral, and ideological manipulation. And there's the square to Lilith, and is in Sagittarius. So this will ignite rebellion against imposed belief systems and religious hypocrisy and moral coercion. So it's just going to be drastic. If we see someone or some people just having a totally different idea about the things they believed in before, and now it's like they're a totally different person, it shouldn't be something that be surprising. And even as an individual, so if you see even you questioning some things that you believe in during those moments and onwards, it's these things that is happening. And so if something is archaic, something is not supporting what you believe in, you will have the urge to reform these things. It's something that is coming up, is coming about as we move on. And on this January 23rd, the aspect that is forming is just going to be massive. It's just going to be massive. So you have Jupiter in Cancer, and this acts as a guardian archetype. So the thing is that it highlights urgent need for compassionate leadership, protection of the vulnerable, and ethical stewardship. Its isolation suggests wisdom exists, but is not yet fully embodied in power structure. So upon all the planets, it's like Jupiter, it has just distanced itself from everything. Yes, it's in Cancer though, which suggests that most people would want a leadership that is, caring, a leader that is caring, protects these people instead of their own interests. So a lot of these things will just come out forth like that. Yes, and Jupiter isolating itself amongst all these cluster brouhaha happening in the skies. It's like there's an essence to it that will be explained later on. So let's go on. So together, these forces form a symbolic bow and arrow, as I said before, and the tension gathered with purpose, aim towards liberation. So this is aim at liberation rather than chaos. So the essence of this happening right now is not to bring chaos, but to liberate people who are oppressed. This alignment represents focused defiance, the release of long contained pressure, and a collective demand for sovereignty, truth, and ethical realignment. So what the yearning here is, most people want things to change, things to realign in things that are purposeful, that are some kind of protection, some kind of alignment. So this kind of cluster that is happening is just for liberation, not chaos. And overall, this is a period of reckoning and reordering, where illusions collapse, truth surface, and both personal integrity and global system must align with reality, and denial is no longer possible. Correction is inevitable. So things must change, and it's going to change. This is not something that someone somewhere can try to, as an individual person is trying to change or try to control. This is inevitable. People want change for the better. The oppression is so much up to the neck level of people. Like they don't want this again, especially connecting to religion, government, how government should of every one of us, and then as the collective as a whole. Things are changing, and it's something that we cannot prevent. So this is what I have for you today. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section, and I'll be really glad if you hit the subscribe button for us. Tell someone to tell someone that this is what is happening, and if we are able to accept this energy into something positive, at the end we will be liberated. So stay tuned, and we'll be giving you more updates as time goes on. Thank you.